On behalf of the entire GMiS family of staff, volunteers, stakeholders, and board members, I'd like to welcome you all to the beautiful city of Pasadena. My name is Mark Toy, and it is an honor for me to serve you as your host tonight. This awards event is very special to me because this is my first time hosting as a veteran. On July 1st, 2022, I retired from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers after 35 years of service. Upon retirement, my wonderful daughter put it best. She asked me, "Dad, how does it feel to go from being a major general to general population?" Don't worry, I'm going to get back at her when I move in with her later in life. And I plan to keep my room very messy, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it's been over a year now, and many people have asked me what has been the most challenging part of retirement. Honestly, it's figuring out what to wear every day to work. Now, I know all of you in uniform are looking at me now like I'm crazy, but I will tell you that it is not easy matching your clothes when you've never done it in your adult life. Think about it. For those of you in the Army, and I know, Kim, you think about it, it's PT, OCP, greens, blues, dress, mess. You have 5 uniform choices, 5. And now, those simple days of dressing, now I've got to think about my shirt, my pants, my belt, the socks. I know these are first world problems, ladies and gentlemen, but the challenge is real. All kidding aside, my first connection with Great Minds in STEM was in 2004, and before I retired in 2022, I had the honor of attending this conference over many years when I was in uniform. I had the pleasure of presenting awards to many of my amazing STEM colleagues from the Corps of Engineers and our service academies, the Merchant Marine Academy, the Coast Guard Academy, the Air Force Academy, Annapolis, and West Point. Yes, the old alma mater, the United States Military Academy. Help me out, Chad and Andy. Go Army! That's what I want to hear. I also got to host these awards back in 2019, and I'm so excited to be back in my new capacity as a veteran and a proud Great Minds in STEM board member. It's a long-standing Great Minds in STEM tradition to dedicate the first recognition event of this annual conference to the men and women of our armed forces and the larger national defense community. This tradition began at the direction of our late founder, Ray Mellado, who passed away last year, as many of you, I'm sure, are aware. Ray didn't serve himself, but he was the son of Joe Mellado, a World War II hero who lost his legs in combat near the city of Aachen on Germany's western border. And growing up, he saw firsthand what dedication and sacrifice in service of our country meant. Ray also appreciated that our military branches and the many government agencies that report to the Department of Defense offered students not only some of the best STEM careers anywhere, but programs and resources to support their pursuit of them, whether uniformed or civilian. These are careers where aspiring engineers and scientists can perform world-class research and development at the cutting edge of electronics, aerospace, cyber, artificial intelligence, metallurgy, civil engineering, you name it, while also making significant contributions to the defense of our nation. Ray was an early and vocal champion of STEM careers in the military and at the Department of Defense. He worked tirelessly to create partnerships that promoted these career opportunities to our nation's underserved communities. I took part in these events as a colonel when I served in the Los Angeles district, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and in fact, we have a special announcement later in the program about a renewed partnership between Great Minds in STEM and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and I think Ray would be very proud. The STEM Hero Awards are also one of the programs Ray helped create, along with partners at the Department of Defense all those years ago. The outstanding engineers, scientists, and technology professionals honored annually at this event are role models for the Hispanic community, both for their outstanding contributions to their technical fields and for their commitment in the defense of our nation. They are ensuring our military remains the greatest, most technologically advanced fighting force the world has ever seen. And we are excited to honor 7 new STEM heroes here this evening. This year's conference comes just days after the outbreak of hostilities in different parts of the world on a scale we have not seen for a generation. Our allies across the globe, whether thousands of American military and civilian personnel are based, are dealing with immense challenges on their borders from our historic adversaries. And instability in these areas threaten to deteriorate into humanitarian crises that cannot be ignored. There are important reminders that the defense of our nation cannot be taken for granted, and we honor tonight's STEM heroes with full knowledge that the work they do is as important to our national security as ever. You know, this is the first conference since we lost Ray Mellado, and I'm sure many of you who knew him have come to Pasadena with a heavy heart. But I'm sure you know that Ray would have wanted the show to go on. That's why we dedicated the theme of this year's conference to him. You may have seen our theme on all the marketing material or on the signage here at the conference, Recharging America with Our Youth. In addition to being a poignant theme of its own, one that captures the essence of Great Minds in STEM's mission, the theme was chosen because of the acronym that comes with it, RAY. And so we go on, as we must, but we do so grateful for everything Ray did for the Hispanic community and for our country. Please show some love for Ray, Carmela, and the entire Mellado family.